You didn't. You,
That was
no,
not 10.
no. I was not 10. That was
That
not
was
the.
not 10.
We're
It was
lying.
about 5 or
Are
6
we?
seconds from when I said 10.
Are we now live? Oh my!
Oh my god.
I was in the process of
This,
opening.
this is
Okay.
all live.
Hi, we're back.
You're like a nurse giving a shot who's like, I'm gonna count down, and then stabs you on two.
I am a nurse, and I do poke on too. Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't tense up. And if you don't tense
People
up...
like you
My
give me
favorite
trust
nurse.
issues.
Actually, I don't tell
You're my
you that I'm
favorite
going to
nurse
count
for the
from
reason I have
3.
trust issues.
I don't tell people I'm going to count from 3. I just go 1, 2, and then I give the shot. I don't tell them what I'm counting to. For all they
There's a
know.
reason I have trust issues with nurses.
Hey, my shots
Probably
don't
for the
hurt.
best. Yeah, you know best. You
No,
probably
they
know
still
best.
hurt.
It's not as bad.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I'm so-
Oh my god, that's a massive mug, Theta.
Oh man. Don't make her feel
You
bad
made
about it.
you made me spew my tea.
Oh, and she's been waiting for it.
It's been too hot to drink, and I just want to drink it. You're a douche canoe.
Sometimes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Homeward, where we are just kind of chaotic right now. So let's just jump right into the story, all right, guys? This is our second episode of the second season, and last where we left off, our crew of the Dralark were now beginning to make repairs and move a bit along the route while trying to figure out more or less the path ahead with the nebulous signals they have to go back home. Um, in the meantime, they discover that the captain is indeed apparently missing. The first officer dead in a weird circumstance, and his corpse had some
Weird elements to it.
weird elements to it, weird things about it. And there was some party tension.
When isn't there
And
party
then
tension?
we began a small time lapse situation where we follow a bit of our one of the counselors of the ship, Cass Kara, having some rough days and finding for a moment a bit of company with someone that seemed somewhat familiar but not fully sure who they were. And um, moving from Kay to Melodious McPherson, he has been feeling some things about his dreams, about the vision he had before. And in the middle of what would be the equivalent of night, he feels that he has to go out there into space to find answers. So, Ray,
Yes.
before Melodious just is right outside into the void, what is he doing to prepare for this?
He, as he's having this realization, he's sitting in his armchair with his ankle crossed over his knee and his cane leaning up against his leg. And his foot is tapping, 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 tapping. And he suddenly gets this burst of realization of, I'm being cold. And what sort of gentleman ignores when he's being summoned? And he rises, more out of habit than any direct conscious thought. He picks up the jar containing the moss ball and tucks it into the breast pocket of his lab coat. And he stands for a moment in the middle of his room, considering. And then he walks towards the door, carrying nothing other than his cane and this deep sense of conviction that the void is ready for him, and he is ready for it.
Okay. You begin making your way toward where in the ship?
It would be wherever the party had exited for our surface mission. Regardless of if that's the closest port, that's the one that he's thinking of.
So the exit of the hangar.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So as you begin making your way out of the officer quarters area and make your way toward the hangar itself, you go into a elevator and begin taking a few levels down until you arrive to it's not that long from officer's lounge to the hangar area. And you arrive through this elevator toward the control section of the hangar. And it's somewhat late. You still see a couple of people here and there. Don't know if they are just early risers, people that just can't sleep, or they are doing something else from way before and they may be finishing. Because of the hour, you don't see the chief engineer from the hangar. Let me see. So you are like in this control area. Just go down, don't pick anything else.
Is there a readily accessible... My brain is saying closet. That's wrong. Armory, I suppose, might be a better word for it. Null is under no... He doesn't think that he's going to get hurt, because why would this voice that is summoning him want him hurt? But at the same time, very much in the way that you deal with large animals, there is an acceptance but a respect. And if it is easy, he will stop and don some kind of spacesuit and or space boots, but only if it's on his way.
Okay. I mean, in this section itself, you would see some gear. Like there's still sections in this control tower that are where people are putting gear. So you do see more heavier duty boots, and some gear that you could put to be able to breathe outside in the void and not just die, not just suffocate.
I'm already dead.
And you begin donning it, and right now nobody's really paying attention to you. They're on their own stuff. And you finish putting it the way you think it should be. You know what? Roll me engineering. Let's see how that goes.
I don't... Okay.
I want to know.
Give me 1 second. Per the rules as written, I don't think I can roll engineering. I'm happy to do so anyway, but I believe...
Yeah, per rules you wouldn't, but this is sort of like the idea of how much you would understand what things to go where in this. Like, you just like putting them on without much of a thought, or you're like, oh, I have to be more respectful to the void, so I will be more prepared on this.
The 2 on die. +4, because I have a pretty high intelligence. I don't think I get to add that, though, because I'm not trained. So, a 2.
Okay.
Let's see what me, a botanist, knows about engineering.
You begin putting the gear, and you are like, okay, this is good. This is good.
Seems
So
good.
this
Seems
is good.
right.
That's right. And you're being walking out. So to exit out, you take another set of like elevators that bring you to the actual hangar outside of this tower control, and you see the two wanderers over there. Wanderer 1 seems to be already repaired, while Wanderer 2 is the one that.
I forgot that the Wanderer was the name of like the little ship. Like, you see two Wanderers, I see two what?
The Wanderer 2 is my baby. I love him.
What the hell is a Wanderer and why is it on the ship? I remember now, carry on, I'm so sorry.
just random people walking NPC style, like NPC style from like Suit Tycoon, just like wandering.
Walking into the corner.
You see like the shuttles, Wanderer 1 and 2. I should have started that. Wonder Woman seems a bit more repaired, though still probably not in the best state. Wonder 2, the one you took, in good shape. The rest of like fighter ships still in need of repair. But apart of that, just at much you see like 5 people in the hangar, and this is a large hangar, so it's bare, just empty.
Still walking with his cane, by the way. Null is just going to begin to stroll casually towards the door, towards the hangar door. And if anyone makes a move, like looking at him or like, hey, what you doing? He's a pleasant wave. Carry on. Just keep on going. He's humming.
So odds, someone does look at you. Oh shit, it's fucking dark here.
Yeah, the lights are off.
It's nighttime.
That
Second.
thing happens to S.
So for people to know, I roll a 12. So
Yay! I'm unhindered.
nobody noticed.
So, here's a question.
Mhm.
Since engineering is mainly where Mac hangs out anyway to hopefully fix things, is there the possibility that I'm seeing this?
This is the hangar. And engineering is next below.
Well, this is where it is. I was also assigned to the hangar for my parole.
Kind of. This is very late in the night. It's like the equivalent of like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Would Amos be around at that time? Or just like, I'm crashing in?
I don't think Amos has been sleeping since that one incident in his quarters.
Why don't you leave it up to fate and roll a D100? See
I was like,
You know-
I was,
I'm totally down for that.
Okay, let's roll it. Tell me what. So
Yeah, just pick
Bears-
a D20 and then do evens or odds, and then you pick
even or
what
that
you
as a
want.
word, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like-
Because I'm having trouble finding my other two.
So tell me, what do you want it to be for you being in the hangar?
Even or odd.
Odds or even or odd?
No. Since Ray is the one about to go walk into space, let's have Ray call it.
Let's go odd.
Odd that Mac's in the hangar. Alright.
It would be odd that the axe in the hangar.
Never odd that Mac's in a place full of ships.
So
Did you
I
roll a
roll.
I
12?
was joking. It's a 1.
Hey, that's odd.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
One.
Your poor nat 1 dice.
We
My
should have
poor
done.
that one dice. I just
We
grabbed
sh-
the dice at random.
You know what would be fun? Is if you did something where it's like prime or not prime.
That would be. Maybe that'll be our next call.
Yeah. But then I have to sit and remember what all my prime numbers are, and that's kind of work.
1, 2, 3, 5. and 7. Up to 10 is prime. And then after that,
Alright.
you've got
Do you want
11, 13, 17,
Is
and
somebody
19
writing
are
this
all prime.
down?
Why
I am
wasn't
not.
why am I taking
Why
prime
was I
notes?
why am I taking
I
prime
am.
number notes?
I already have a lot of notes here. I'm not taking.
I took calculus the whole time.
Either way,
No.
so
Great. I didn't.
so
Speaking of
Amos,
yeah.
you roll a 1, so I would say that you are in the hangar. As it was pertained, odd, you are in the
Uh-huh.
hangar.
Also, for the record, I do want to say, ask me about drip rates. I can tell you about those. That's hard
What?
math.
You calculate the rate of this drip. Sorry.
No, I can't. That drip's about to go try to take a walk in space.
So
In space, no one can hear your drip.
In space, you
I'm
don't
so
drip.
sorry, Sakurai. You're trying to tell a story, and I am interrupting.
Yeah, you're trying to.
It's my fault.
get
I
us to
started
task.
it.
It's not working.
So, Melodius, you're just walking in straight in toward the exit is to the right, kind of the right side tunnel. If
Mhm.
you're from the depth of the hangars,
I'm not 100% sure on this. Is there a man door, or is it just an overhead door?
Her mentor.
it is.
That's what they're called.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's like big hangar
Okay.
entrance to it. Like literally, that's where I'm thinking you're going. Like just
Yes,
jump
okay,
out
there's-
of that section.
If the only option's an overhead door, he'll go out the overhead door.
Yeah. And Amos, the past days have been
A
complicated.
lot. Complicated.
Yeah.
A lot. I'm running out of
And-
cigarettes very quickly.
You're just sitting in the pilot seat of the Wanderer 2, just like a bit like fiddling with the controls, the
Yeah, see if
different
I can
systems.
run and all the fun system checks that one
Yeah.
has to do if they're a pilot.
Yeah, and you look up. Takes you a moment because this individual is dressed in an odd way. It's part of his attire. Thus, it is like the equipment normally used by you've seen a couple of engineers put on to do the spacewalk for extra repairs near and around. And this person has some of it, not all of it. Kind of put just on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
And what ends up giving you more of who this person is the stride he's taking alongside his cane. And you haven't seen in this ship, you have not seen anyone in this ship walking that way with a cane. There's also nobody else with a cane in the ship, so you're like,
That I'm aware of. So in my brain, this is Null, and Null's about to do a dumb.
you can assume whatever you think he's gonna do.
Damn.
But yeah, you see that. He hasn't. You think he hasn't noticed you, partly because now he's turning around, and you see that he's walking toward right the exit of the hangar.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there.
I'm gonna intervene.
Yeah, I'm gonna intervene.
Right.
I know what space does. I could live out there. Null can't.
I'm dead.
I don't know that.
Actually, I need to check if androids are affected by the void. But go ahead. You begin making your way over there.
It's a great question to ask now.
Yeah, go ahead. You
Hello.
you make your way,
No?
and now you are.
Oh, What a-
Giant.
what
Giant behind you.
what a pleasure! What an unexpected pleasure seeing you here.
It's the hangar I work on ships.
It's quite late though, isn't it?
having.
Although I wouldn't imagine you have any other things occupying you at this time of night. Anyhow, what can I do for you? I'm a bit busy.
I don't really respond to that comment, but there's something more important going on. Well, what exactly are you doing, Noel?
Oh, I just thought I'd go for a stroll. Is Mac, like, blocking him? Because Null will continue walking if he can.
Not
Is Mac,
yet.
like, walking aside, like, next to him?
Don't walk aside until you start posing a danger to yourself or others.
I just thought I'd go for a stroll, you know, it's lovely, lovely weather out there.
Okay, hold on, Noel. And that's when Mac is gonna step in front of you. There is no weather out there.
Null,
It
like,
is the void.
Null, like, stops abruptly, almost running into Mac's chest. And then slowly looks up and says, "Oh, I'm well aware. That's actually who I'm going to see." And he's going to sidestep and continue walking towards the hangar
Okay,
door.
hold on, Noel. What do you mean you're gonna go see the void? Do not go out there without proper equipment on!
Listen, I am not a man unaware of my defects, and I am well aware that in my natural...
Here breathing.
In my natural state, I am not necessarily equipped to handle what the void has for me. And as you can see, I have prepared for that inevitability, but there is no harm posed to me. Why would it wish me harm?
Because it's the void. It can't control what it does.
But I'm Melodious McPherson.
You are, in fact, Melodious McPherson. But the problem becomes that Melodious McPherson here is not immortal and does need oxygen to breathe. Well, nitrogen is oxygen, but... So how about we still go out and we talk to the void, but we take some extra precautions. Just because you never know what's going to happen.
What is Mac doing to inhibit Null's progress?
At first he was standing in front of you, and now I assume that he's actively trying to put the suit on you as you're going out the door.
Oh, he's wearing the suit. He's already wearing the suit.
Yeah,
But
it's-
making sure you were secured with an air hose and everything, because he's not going to be able to stop you from going out. He's come to
so-
this conclusion.
Mac, as you're checking his suit, roll. What would be perception? Roll perception.
That's profession. Do
you
I have
telling
a
me-
perception?
This trained engineer is going to know more about this spacesuit than me, a plant boy.
A plant doctor? Yes. Mostly because it's a 15.
I'm a leaf doctor.
You're a leaf doctor, sir.
So you see, and this is like also for like player information. Unless stated otherwise, all armor can provide protection for environmental hazards from being in the void and everything. And depending on the rank, you have up to a day of that protection. So the moment if he would have walked out, there won't be much of a problem because already the armor he has would provide some of that protection. Mac, what you notice is that he didn't properly put the activation for the boots. That if he was standing in something, he will be able to attach himself. And if he tried to, he would have just like not be able to attach.
You just
And
float
would've-
away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna properly do up Noel's boots now.
The moment you put your hands on him, he's going to hit you with his cane.
Matt takes it. He's like without flinching.
My good sir,
Now
unhand
you
me.
can either let me fix your shoes, or I
There
can
is
tie
nothing-
you to this ship.
There is nothing. Ooh, kinky. There is nothing wrong with my boots.
They are not on, Melodius.
My boots are perfectly fine. I think I would know a bit more than you. You are an
Melodius, it
uneducated
is
criminal.
exactly my job to know more.
I've been to
My-
college. I have a PhD.
I could.
What are
find
you?
shit.
Some brigand that we have on board? You really think you know more about this than I do? That is equal parts frustrating, and I will excuse. And he like nudges Mac out of the way with his cane,
Mac
and
does not
insulting, frankly. Unhand me.
Look, I may not agree with you, and I may find it extremely insulting that you've referred to me as nothing but a brigand and a criminal in this conversation, but you mean something to S. And you mean something to K. And you've saved my life more than once.
Be that all
So
as
you
it
can
may.
either let me help you save yours, or I can let you float away into the void of space.
If that is its will, be
That
it for me.
like hell. The void has no will, Melodius. It is an endless void of nothingness. There is no consciousness, there is no person. I'm not sure why you wish to go out there, but like hell am I actually going to stop you, other than making sure that you're safe when you do. Because the one thing that I need you to do is come back. Because if you
So-
die out there and I could have prevented it, S is never going to forgive me.
Amos is quite a
Let
bit
alone
taller.
will they forget you. Amos is like 6'8".
He's quite a bit taller. Okay. Null is going to swing his cane so that the handle of it, which is like a curling grapevine, hooks over Amos's shoulder, and he's going to yank him down so that they're face to face. And Null's going to get real close, or as close as he can with the space helmet on. He's going to say,
Bonk.
"Bonk."
It makes a metal clank
Mac
noise.
can't hear anything. It's like his face is in a fishbowl. It's just whoa.
There's
like
a,
a-
you- you-
serious moment.
Charlie
Mac
Brown.
can- you guys can hear each other. This is
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
So he yanks him down. Amos McIntosh, you are a very big man. And I'm sure you are very self-confident, but I assure you, you do not know what you are handling. I need you to let me go. There are things I must do out there, and I promise I will be perfectly safe. Because why would the Void wish to harm me? I am too important.
The void doesn't wish to do anything. It can.
Just because it doesn't speak to you does not mean there are not words to be heard.
As Null is pulling my ass down, if I have a communicator on me, I'm pushing the call S button. Or K. Or somebody. It's in my pocket, it's in my hand. Whatever I'm doing, I'm calling somebody.
After Nil says that he's going to unhook the handle of his cane and sidestep Mac for what feels like the 100th time. How close am I to the hangar door? Am I getting there?
To a lockdown button.
So, Melodius,
Yes.
if you sprint, you could easily just jump out into the void.
Oh. He's gonna go
Mac.
for it.
Mhm.
If you sprint, you could probably reach a control to begin the lockdown. How fast the doors will close, you don't know. You don't know if that system has been repaired fully or not, but
Alright.
so
Here's
roll initiative, both of you.
Oh.
shit.
I
For
Yeah.
the record, when
No,
you
that's-
when you
that's
call
gonna
Kay's
happen.
room, you just hear loud music. I just want you
Oh
to know
yeah,
that.
Kay right
Kay
now
is
is just
asleep.
listening.
Kay
Is
is
listening
out
some-
cold.
Where's my initiative? Oh, God! No! Curse these little legs! I rolled a 2 again.
Wait, you rolled 2?
I rolled a 2 plus 2. I've got a total of 4 for my initiative.
Do you want to know mine? Because it's gonna make you sad.
Oh no.
It's 27.
Let me hurl myself into space! That's all I've ever wanted!
6.
Secretly,
I apologize.
secretly, Ray
No
just
might.
wants to
All you
roll a
have
new
to do is
character.
make- All you have to do is make the jump. You don't know
If I have-
how fast the doors are going to close.
If I come back as a new character, I'm coming back as a Sheeran named Edward.
This
Ed Sheeran.
I hate this game.
So, Amos, you see that Nolorio sidesteps you, and you see where he's going. What do you do with this opportunity you have?
Because there's got to be other people in this hangar, despite it being late. Somebody's probably working on a ship somewhere. Nobody else is here.
You probably have seen, like, at much in the hangar itself, 4 or 5 other people, and you are a ways away from them now.
I'm going to yell as loud as I possibly can, with the most fear-filled voice I can muster, to lock down the hangar and call S. And then I'm going to tackle Melodious to the ground.
Oh no.
Okay. Remember when I said that there was no combat intended for tonight? Remember what I said?
PvP! PvP!
Said that. Remember when Melodious tried to walk in space with faulty boots? And
Um,
wouldn't let me fix it?
Let me see. What is the fucking move to tackle someone? For fuck's
I
sake.
have an
Okay.
athletics. I could do it athletics.
So I need you to roll me a melee attack. It's going to be a d20 plus your attack modifier. And you have to
D20
beat.
plus my
Um,
attack.
so, Nolodius,
Okay.
what is your KAC?
14.
14. So you have to beat a total of 22 to grapple him.
Well, I'm gonna let you know that I did that.
Now.
I rolled an 18 and my modifier is 7.
So, Nolodius, as you're beginning to making your way, you hear that, and you're like thinking, "How noisy!" Boom! You immediately feel this big android grabbing you and holding you tightly.
Is it like a bear hug tackle or like a down on the ground tackle?
Oh, it's a full football tackle. You're on the ground. He's just gone full football mode.
I have a
Get your
-1
nose out
to
of my
strength,
bowl.
so I doubt
This
there's
not
anything
for
I can
you.
do about that.
Sorry.
I'm just a
Okay.
little guy.
Well,
Yeah, just
you're
a little guy
right
who just
now.
got tackled by a giant man.
You are now in the ground, and you heard that, and you're just seeing. You have right now in front of you, Amos.
In my mind, the way I have pictured this is that Amos has tackled him from behind, so Null basically fell forward. Which
That's
means
in
if
my
he
mind too, yeah.
like cranes his head up, he can still see the hangar.
Uh-huh.
And this is probably futile, but he's going to begin to attempt to wriggle out of the grasp and crawl to the hangar. He
He's
is
going to contest
desperate
my
to get
grapple
out there.
check.
He has never
Um,
been more convinced that he needs to do something, as he is convinced right now that he has to go out there.
I'm well over 200 pounds. I don't think you're gonna do this.
I don't know how to. Right now, let's say that.
Contested.
So I'm
strength,
gonna
maybe?
say this. Yeah. Actually, if you're gonna wriggle out, I need you to roll. What is it? Dex save? No, it's not dex save. It's reflex save. And I'm gonna need you, Mac, for a strength check or athletics.
Or would it be fortitude? What is fortitude?
Fortitude is
for?
more like resistant. It's more like
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. That's
Like
why I asked.
Constitution.
yeah. It's like Constitution. It's also for strength, but it's more like the save. I'm thinking like what would be the equivalent of what it would be either athletics or
Like I roll fortitude at work to avoid getting trench foot. That's fortitude.
Okay.
so yeah. I will need you to roll reflex save, and Amos, I need you to roll a. God damn it! This is not what I was expecting. Okay.
You want athletics? or
Another
strength?
another
Two different numbers.
another melee attack, just to make sure you still have the hold on him.
Oh well, okay. It's the same thing as last time. As I rolled a 19 again.
I also rolled a 19.
So
So
what's your
it's-
guys'
Ooh,
modifiers?
I'm sorry, I've actually rolled higher. It's 19 plus 7, so it's 28.
Okay, well mine's 19 plus 3, 21 for my reflex save.
Okay.
Has anybody hit the lockdown button and called S yet? That was my only order.
You're just some guy. You're an intern.
The echo sounded loud, but you're not sure if someone has heard you yet.
Oh
I
my
will
god!
give-
I have to knock you
You're
unconscious.
also like 3 seconds grappling on the ground.
I know.
Yeah, it hasn't been long. Right now it has been like 10 seconds of you guys struggling. I would say before something else happens, no, you'll have another chance. Are you just trying to escape physically, or are you doing something else?
He is going to, after unsuccessfully trying to wriggle away, just Moons, damn you, man, let me go, and swing the head of his cane back at Mac's temple.
Alright.
Bonk.
Okay. Bonk. Are you just trying to knock him out, or
Yeah. Possible.
I love that. Yeah.
I had to think about it. I usually play characters who do non-lethal damage, but I feel like this isn't one of those times.
okay?
Trying
Roll
to kill me.
a melee attack, and Mac, what is your KAC?
My KAC is 17.
How
For
much?
a melee attack.
I didn't hear
What
you.
is
You
that?
was too muffled.
Oh,
Yeah.
11.
You are trying to get hit it to free yourself, but no,
Robots always win.
you're not really getting a chance. And out of the distance, Mac, you see someone like poking out, like, what the hell is going on?
Goddamn lockdown.
They kind of like nod and begin making their way toward the control, and you see that there's communication going on. You hear it in the comms. Nelodius,
Yes.
you have one more chance.
I would like to.
If you don't succeed on whatever idea you have to free yourself
Yes,
to go into this walk, the lockdown will happen.
I understand. Macintosh, please make for me a will saving throw.
Ooh, okay.
Macintosh.
The back of my ears, I can hear that. 22.
How do you keep rolling so high?
Well, I rolled a 16.
That's fair. I believe my spell save DC is only a 15. So take it. Null
I
has
don't know.
Null has unsuccessfully attempted to cast Charm Person.
I have rolled like shit this entire week. This is my first time getting good rolls.
So as you're forcing and you for a moment are like focusing your mind to get into Mac's mind, the sounds of alarm as red lights begin to illuminate across the hangar. And you see first that the shielding protection, this energy shield that is there to protect the atmosphere, suddenly turns a bit brighter. The edges where you can see more of this energy become more solid before you hear the doors of the hangar being closing. They're going slow, but you're not sure how strong that feel has become. And maybe that might be like if you try to touch it, you might like suffer something, but you still need to free yourself, and the opportunity to go out there begins to fade more and more with every second. The red just illuminating all around you as you continue to break free. Roll me a wisdom save, a will save.
Where's my die? Oh, I'm rolling like clown shoes tonight. Will
I'm
save
so happy for that, but I know you're not.
13. I rolled a 4.
So desperation begins to take into you as you are thinking like you have to go out, you have to go out, you have to go out. And he's so close, you could just crawl. You could just there's emptiness for a moment. Amos, Mac,
Mm-hmm.
the forceful fighting and struggling with Nelodius becomes more of trying to hold someone that is no longer fully in control of its movements. As you feel him shaking. And you look at him through the protection. His eyes are white and he's shaking violently.
Do we have a med bay on the ship?
Yeah.
I hope
various
so. It's like an oversight if we don't.
Have to add
We-
before I leave.
Nope. The space for the med bay was taken by the ramen shop.
Medicinal ramen.
So I'm going. Because he's no longer in control of his movements, I'm going to pick him up, like full on fireman carry him, to the med bay because I don't know what's happening and I don't deal with fleshy people. I can repair non-fleshies.
I'm just
And I'm
picturing
going to-
somebody carrying somebody fireman style while they're having a seizure.
Yeah, well,
This
like
is what's
actively
happening!
flailing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, Mac wouldn't know.
Mac wouldn't know.
But-
Sky knows not to do this, but Mac doesn't.
Melodious.
Yes.
In them-
As I'm running,
Uh-huh.
I'm calling S and K like on a
Hey, babe.
chat. Like on a
Group
friggin'
chat.
group chat.
So you do that, but as it pertains to us, the players, all of that fades away. For a moment, no, you are looking in desperation toward the exit to your call. And in a blink of an eye, the hangar is not there. Nothing is holding you. Your cane is gone. Your gear is gone. There's no ship. There's just the blackness around you with tiny specks of light everywhere, blinking every now and then. Some think that space is like an ocean. Endless, massive. As a botanist, you know the truth. It's more like a desert. Infinite. And you could walk miles and miles, traverse it a lot, and life could be sparsely found. Yet you can find it somewhere. Life still finds a way to survive in this hospitable environment, and sometimes this life is beautiful. Oases you can find, creatures that survive through miraculous ways, but there are creatures there that also survive through foraging and eating whatever is left from a carcass. You don't fully notice when this happened until aside of this beautiful canvas is just black, and the stars that were there are missing more and more and more. Each tiny speck of a diamond that could be life there is nothing. More and more until you're left in complete unnerving darkness. Is this what the void was calling you for? Was this something that it wanted to show you? Or a point you feel a call again, like a whisper. And as you turn in this confusing state, and you kind of face into somewhere into this blackness, you hear the whisper again, calling you softly. Before you feel something grab the back of your head and yank you violently. The lights hit you as you suddenly wake up in the infirmary of the ship. A massive, massive headache. And before your eyes begin to clear out more, you just feel something in your head, like a whisper of a familiar voice. I found you. K, S, and Mac, you've been in the infirmary for a while now. Your sleep taken away from some of you.
Just K.
Well, probably just K. S was just
Yeah.
like surviving through.
I'm pretty sure I was in Kate's office when this was happening.
It has been minutes and hours of just waiting to see what happened. For the infirmary people here, which I need to find the names because I was not expecting to come to the infirmary.
You don't need names for the infirmary people right now. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're all named Steve.
Yeah, infirmary people don't have names. They're named after our cats.
So, nurses are around, medics also too, and they told you that picking up Noel's vitals was weird because some of them were not showing, but some others were. And in many aspects, it seemed that Noel was already dead. But you guys have seen him, so you were hoping for a bit more of time. And now suddenly he woke up, he's back again. You see him jumping out from the bed he was laying. And a bit of blood coming out of his nose. But he's awake now after solid 5-6 hours of him not
Oh.
responding to anything.
They're gonna say days. Oof.
When just kind of back, so that way there's context for how S has been. There was a lot of anxiety when he first arrived, but especially after the
Staff.
the medics, the nurses, the staff here, have talked about the vitals. S has been in a chair, line of sight, if his head was up, to Null on the bed. But his head has been down, hands just gripping the armrests, and just silent, like in his thoughts, not looking at Null, because right now S is like super guilty because S knows that he was the reason why Null is kind of the way that he is, because that's all he's thinking about is that explosion and bringing Null back. And it's like, I'm the reason that they can't find the vitals. And it's circling in his mind until the moment that Null is off the bed and S's eyes are up and he sees the blood. And he just looks. He doesn't say anything.
I feel like Null would have, as soon as he was awake and able to, like, shot sitting straight up. And his hair is a mess, because if you put a beard and a long ponytail inside of a helmet and then sweat a whole bunch, it's nasty. So he's just got like this wild mane of purple hair. He's got the blood dripping down his nose. He just and then sees that he has an audience. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Back there with the ice pack on his head from where you hit him.
Would Max still have an ice pack after 4 or 5 hours?
He doesn't want to get rid of it. He feels bad because it didn't really hurt, but the doctors made a fuss.
Emotional support ice pack.
At this point,
Where's the moss ball? Is it still in your breast pocket?
Am I still wearing my coat? What am I wearing?
Before he
I
answers,
think probably medical procedure would be removing the clothing, maybe. Yeah.
probably.
Hmm.
Kay's just kind of leaning up against the wall with the arms crossed, watching in the unblinking bug stare.
Mm.
And when you come
The-
to, they kind of push themselves up off the wall and walk out. They return a few minutes later with staff.
Just fucking leave.
Mac is just sitting on the floor with his emotional support ice pack at this point, but I'm glad that you made the sensible call.
While I am normally all for an audience, why are you all here, and why am I here, and where am I?
You don't remember?
That's an excellent question, actually. How much do I remember, Sakura?
It's always a good question in this game. What do I remember?
What do I remember?
Leaving aside the still present amnesia, what you remember is
Amnesia on top of amnesia. It's amnesia all the way down.
Amneception.
Amnesia's
Amnesia.
all the way down.
I have turtle way down, like 4 feet away from me.
so I think you remember up to the point that you began seeing the hangar being closed. You kind of a fuzzy memory of that vision,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still the present sensation of something, of a hand grabbing you in the back and having pulled you down. And there's still that idea of that whisper that you heard. Whatever it was, just the words. And the voice sounds familiar, very, very familiar, but you can't put the finger on from where you heard it.
It's like when you wake up in the middle of the night thinking you've had a really profound thought and you write it down in your phone and you wake up the next morning and it's like gnarly NATOs with the Tay-Tay and you're like, okay. Does it
It's not a real note.
That is, in fact, I also have a note in my phone that just says banana broth factory. I don't know what that means. Does it still actively feel like something is trying to pull Null back down? Like, if he relaxes, will he get slammed Exorcist style back into the bed or not? I've never seen the film. I don't know if that happens, but it sounds like it probably does.
I don't know. I have never seen The Exorcist either. If you relax for a moment, like trying to think about everything, it's like when you're in a dream and you fall in the dream and you're left with that sensation of the pressure in the chest, like that jump scare that you have, is that feeling. Like if you stand still, you feel that movement, but it's not something actively pulling you.
Okay.
It's just that feel there.
As soon as he becomes aware of that, he's probably going to lay himself back down, and if it doesn't abate, he's going to sit back up. But I recall being quite rudely interrupted from what I'm sure would have been a pleasant stroll.
Okay.
I also... Where was that voice coming from? You all heard it, I'm sure, once everything went black.
No.
It sounds so familiar.
No, are you telling me you heard a voice in the hangar? That
No,
wasn't me
well,
or the engineers yelling and hollering.
it was not you yelling and hollering, as you say. I'm not sure if it was in the hangar. It was,
No, there was no other voices.
well, my earlier questions remain. I take this to be the med bay. Now that I'm
Yes.
looking around a bit. And why am I here? I feel perfectly fine.
Aside from the nose, of course. No, you went into
The air
this.
is so dry inside, you know?
I'm not gonna argue with you, though I can't really feel it.
Children, if you will stop for 5 minutes, the doctors would like to look at Null to make sure that Null is okay.
It wouldn't be the first. I'm sorry. Sometimes the intrusive thoughts win.
Sometimes the intrusive thoughts become obtrusive thoughts.
The medical staff, a nurse and a doctor, a medical officer, begin checking you. No, and as of now, after they check you and get a more thorough evaluation of you in a conscious way, rather than you unconscious and unsure if you're alive or dead, they address that. Well, that along with you telling like you are having a headache, a bit of that words.
Dizziness?
Disorientation?
Dizziness. Thank you.
Oh, dizzy.
I've been friends with Sekrain long enough to know what he's trying to say.
Language
most
is a
of the
beautiful
time.
thing.
Dizziness and all of that. They're not sure what caused the convulsions, and
It might be generously described as a seizure.
a seizure. That's the word. Thank you. The seizure. But just to continue checking on you and making sure you're all right, they ask you to remain in the medical bay. Oh, correction. They don't ask you. They tell you that you have to stay in the medical bay.
I appreciate your professional. I too am a doctor. Of a different variety, not of the medical, but you know, there's a D in PhD. I respect your professional opinions. However, I do have ever so much, and I feel right as rain. And frankly, I do not think I need to remain. And I will be taking my leave. Thank you very much. As soon as I can locate my trousers.
No, I'm
So,
pretty sure that if you don't stay, they're gonna restrain you to the bed. Go ahead, Ray. Let the intrusive thoughts.
No.
I'm fairly certain if you choose to leave, you'll have some paperwork to sign in the inevitable case that you need to return because you're being stubborn.
It's a damn Baker Act. You can't. There's no Baker Act in space.
No, it's actually
Space.
my brain stopped functioning. There is
Leaving
paperwork.
AMA.
Yeah, AMA, thank you.
Mm.
You can leave AMA. They're just going to be frowning on you the whole time you're there.
So is S and Mac probably.
S hasn't done anything except just stare at this moment. Like he hasn't said anything really.
Kay has said all they're going to say and kind of goes back to leaning up against the wall to watch the inevitable two bicker.
Bubbling?
the doctor present at the moment just first looks at Mac and says, "Okay, let me check about that head of yours." Like, grabs you, moves your head. Looks like a human, this individual. He reaches.
You said you were
this
sitting
individual
on the
reaches.
floor. If you're
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
on the floor, then you're
I am
fine.
sitting on the floor. He does stuff to reach though.
You're not a giraffe. You don't have a notification as an android.
Great.
Yeah, they check your hand. And it's like, all right, you're fine. You can leave this. Don't worry. We'll just make sure the patient remains here and will be checked on so we don't have any more issues. But if there's going to be some more argument to be had in this medical way, I'll suggest for everyone participating in that argument to leave, but the one patient that I need to make sure it's alive and okay. Thank you, Kay, for that. You know this. The doctor looks at you. You have seen him going around because the office is like your office is like a couple of doors away from the medical bay, so they kind of recognize you a bit. So go on. The doctor says, looking at you, Mac. You're fine. No bruises. Everything all right. Go and take some
Shooting the
rest.
android
Expect there to be
out.
bruises. Yeah, I really don't expect there to ever be bruises. But ignoring the doctor, it looks at us. Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Do you want to go back to your room?
I'll go back. I can step out of the room as he looks to the doctor. I just would like to hear your evaluations after you see your patient.
Come on, I'll go make us some coffee. There's
I'm gonna go with them.
There's coffee in my office, I'm assuming, and tea and just general refreshments for patients to help them like chill while they're in their office.
There's also food art.
Yes.
Can I interest you in an apple?
It's cut like a swan.
Appy slices.
Happy slice. Sorry.
So yeah, S will go with K.
I'll follow them out as well.
Okay. As K, Mac, and S walk out of the infirmary and leave the doctors to attend Noel and check on him, we're gonna have a quick break.
Woo!
So we'll be catching you guys in a moment.
Come back for a HIPAA violation.
Hey, what?
It's don't worry about it.
Be right back.
You're gonna do whatever you want with the countdown. Like either I'm going to
I
be
love
ready or
that
not.
was live.
Yeah,
That's
by the way, we're
live,
live.
Zephyr.
Exactly.
We're
I
live.
counted down, Secrane. I gave you 5
I know.
seconds.
I know.
Well,
I'm
some
just
of us are alive.
complaining.
I'm over here.
I'm dead.
I know,
I
don't
will-
remind me.
I will feed
Are
myself
androids
into the
living?
biocomposter.
Are androids alive? Do androids dream of electric sheep?
Oh, what a
So,
good
How's that
Second,
for
story
terrible
terrible
master.
film adaptation.
So, back at the Dralark, after some commotion happening in the hangar,
Okay.
and commotion happening somewhere else.
Commotion?
Ooh.
K, S, and Mac. It's close from the medical bay and the medical section of the ship case office. So you go there, and in there, there's a small place that it can be where you can prepare some coffee, some tea, something to drink, relax, and you have that time for yourselves.
S, almost like on autopilot, is going to fix himself coffee and just drinks it. Doesn't say anything. Is sitting there, hands now around the coffee mug or cup, sitting, and just waiting.
Mac will pull out his cigarette case and hand us a cigarette, whether or not they choose to light it. It's up to them.
Yeah, he'll take it, but everything right now is like kind of autopilot, so he doesn't actually like light it up, but he takes it.
Puts it behind his ear.
Yeah.
I know you've told us what happened, Mac. Any idea why? And what is
Why
your
this
beef?
happened?
What is the deal between
There
you
is no
and-
beef.
There is obviously something going on between the two of you to make Melodius want to try to kill you with his cane. As you put
All I
it.
did was try to stop him from going out into the void of space. At least long enough so that I could get his shoes working so he didn't float away. And by the way, told me that I didn't know how to do my job, that I was nothing but a brigand and a criminal. And that they were more suited to take care of this than me. Which, I wasn't going to stop him at first. I was just trying to make sure that he was safe when he was doing whatever he was doing. I can't let him go out with faulty equipment. He'll die. Again, probably. Based on those vitals. I'm not going to let that happen.
I may need to try to get Null into my office at some point. I highly doubt that his pride will allow that to happen. But you've been, and Kay's gonna turn their head over to S. You've been silent for far too long. What's going through your head?
Nothing. I'm just. I'm seeing the explosions again. And as S kind of closes his eyes, it's very visible on his face that whenever he closes his eyes, he's seeing something else that's not there.
Right.
And there's S. that I see myself in and out of my body, fixing Null. I'm helping him, I swear that I was, and Null's different. Not quite alive, not quite dead, and did I fuck up when I tried to do the right thing and make things worse?
No.
And not only that, there's all the stuff that I'm remembering that's the same and it bleeds together, and then there's the new memories after we woke up with the blanks, and I'm just, everything is circling and I can't make sense of it, and I'm just trying to make sense.
Kay's gonna sigh very heavily, both in your head and physically, which is a really weird thing.
Yeah. It
But-
causes S to actually look up from his coffee at K.
The things you're feeling, we all are, whether you want to believe that or not. I can't count how many people I have sat here and counseled on trying to remember their children, their spouses, their deceased friends. I understand what you're feeling. It sucks, as the lightest possible way I could say it. But when it comes to you and Null, you've done the right thing. You did what you thought was the right thing to do to keep them alive, and they are alive, even if they're treading some strange in between. Even if it's not the same as before, it's still life. And it's better than them not existing at all, to most of us. And Kay's gonna kind of do a side glance to Mac, but is not trying to be direct. And so try not to beat yourself up too much about him being alive. Because the alternative is he's either in an airlock with the other corpses that were trying to kill us that had no minds, or he's in the compost pile. Even if he's partially gone, his mind is still active, and that's enough of a life for me. He knows who he is, for the most part, as much as any of us know who we are right now. Despite him being a cocky asshole, and I apologize if that offends you, and that might be your thing, but I don't necessarily agree with Null. I don't agree with Mac and how you handle Null, but at the same time I understand being grievously insulted by somebody calling you what he did, which was wrong. He should not have called you that. Regardless of what is in that damn file and whatever you were before, the choices you're making now are better ones. And you tried to save him. If he wants to be mad because you're trying to save his life, then let him be mad. But you did the right thing, Mac. I love how there's silence.
Sorry, we're typing Macintosh.
So Mac will just look up basically at us and at Kay and go, I don't remember the explosions. My first memory is restarting and you all really. I wish I could remember because I keep thinking to myself, if I could go back and fix this and stop this from happening in the first place, that maybe I did something or maybe I could have done something.
Don't you
But
think
it's
if
not.
you could have done something, you would have?
I don't know. Because maybe I did, or maybe I did and I could have. I just don't know. And I've got nothing against Melodious. I really don't. Rubs me the wrong way being an arrogant asshole, but whatever. That's most of the people in the world.
Do something, don't do something.
Whether or not I do or don't doesn't matter.
Exactly. You're living too much in the past.
But the only thing that I could do in that moment was to help him, or stop him, or do something. And I had to. Do I feel good about the fact that I had to tackle him to the ground to get him to stop from throwing himself into space? Not really.
He wasn't listening any other way. What were you supposed to do?
I don't know. But S, I doubt there's anything that you did that made him like this. Something else is happening. And he's gonna take the coffee from S so the S has to look at him.
And he
You
does.
did the right thing.
Kay's gonna
You did the right thing.
a little bit.
Hmm?
Kay's gonna chuckle
He's
a little
laughing at
bit.
us.
And if my notes are anything to be noted on, I'm gonna say the personality has stuck through.
But what I can tell you is that he was trying to talk to something out there in the void, like a person. That it was calling to him. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's going to try to do this again. My guess is that he is. But something beyond all of us is happening to Null. So, it's not your fault. Nothing that you've done is wrong. Just remember that. If I have to be the bad guy according to Null, I'll do that for you. Just know that you did the right thing.
S doesn't say anything, but it is clear that he is listening and taking in the words.
Give you back coffee. Do you guys need anything? As even if it is just to speak to somebody, some more. Just call.
I mean, you are in a therapist's office, so you could talk if you want to.
I think
my room and talk.
in
Doesn't matter.
response to people telling S to talk, he's just gonna down his coffee and not say shit.
No, that was a if you want to.
Yeah.
From
Yeah, smack
No,
him if you want to.
I-
I'm here.
Yeah, he is 100% hearing that. But just
It's
like
going
in the
one ear
response,
and out the other.
It's
just right in this moment, he's just like, I'm just drinking the coffee. I'm not saying
This is
anything.
none
But
of my
he's
business.
yeah.
it's the Kermit meme.
But he is very much. It's very obvious that he is receiving the information that is being presented here.
Now that we're all properly overloaded, I think I'm gonna make some tea. I'm not much of a coffee drinker. I get jittery, and Kay is gonna like shake their hands for effect.
I
And
love it.
kind of clicks a little bit together because
Yeah.
of the carapace skin.
Carapace. Mac is gonna get some coffee and then pour some alcohol into it, some nondescript alcohol, because we've never decided what's in the flask.
Whatever can be found.
Whatever
Pretty
can,
much,
whatever can
just
be
whatever's
put in
there. Would have an
Mm.
Irish coffee at this point.
It's just ethanol.
It's just ethanol, pure ethanol. Stole it.
All right, storyteller,
It's
tell us the story.
It's ship fuel.
Oh no.
How do you think Mac runs so efficiently?
Oil. It's just engine oil.
It's engine oil and ship fuel.
Oh my god. So while you guys are doing that and Kay makes their tea, they are going to offer, if you ever want to zone out and not hear anything but music, I have a very good sound system.
Is that what I've been hearing?
If you tried to reach me through the comms, you probably heard my music. It's soothing.
It's quite loud.
I fixed the dampeners so you cannot hear it in the hallway. Thank you. I am quite good at fixing things.
I don't disagree. I'd say we can hear it through the comms.
That's fair.
Ray! Yeah, it's that.
Torpedo juice.
It's 180 grade alcohol with pineapple juice.
Alright.
Mm.
So what, aside from stopping Null and us having chit-chat time in Kay's office, what are those two up to also?
So, in the next days, still keeping a bit of an eye on Noel S. You've been working in piecing together and finding the breadcrumbs spread all around the ship's files. And what happened to the ship? Trying to break, slowly taking your time, break the security on the files locked in Kay's office, and also trying to unlock your own secrets. I would say, what would be first?
Whatever makes me cry more, I guess.
Oh boy.
I don't know, it's always a
Um,
way to dictate how things are done.
So,
Power move.
by looking through the
It's
files
top tier gamer move.
and investigating through the ship, you keep seeing this how to pronounce that word?
Oh, the one that we talked about last time? Adjutant?
Adjutant?
The adjutant, yeah.
Oh,
You keep seeing the mention of the adjutant being put here and there. And even trying to break into the files, you see that the adjutant would have been able to access into these files. So, you take out of that whatever you wish to, but the adjutant seems to have been a very present entity, assistant, part of the crew even. And eventually, you break the files from Mac's profile.
Oh, there's
And-
concern now.
Though I don't have a full-on display, redacted file for Mac, I can give you the information,
why
the general
not?
information.
Okay. I've got my notes ready to go.
If S would like to break into the privacy of Mac and read about him, or if you just want to
Privacy.
send
We lived
the
each other
files.
with each other for a month and a half.
I think S is the type of person, especially seeing that we've had files in the past that are corrupted, is going to read it to make sure all of it is there.
Okay.
Now, what he will do with that information, we don't know.
So you find what would be the generalized information about Mac. It's not biological information, but
Like what would show up on like when you do like character selection, where it's like all the basic information.
yeah, height, synthetic blood type, a generalized description. You see images of him,
It's on your
You know,
driver's
classic.
license.
front and side. In the
Ooh,
photos, he
much.
seems somewhat defeated.
Mugshot.
You do see in the indications of the file that it mentions the situation of missing an arm after losing it during the repelling of the raid to the Dralark. It mentioned, ask what information you would like be more like, this would be something that would stick more in my head. And I'll just be retelling that. Or just you're seeing like whatever it's generalized there and
I don't think he's trying to like memorize it. Like just reading through. So like if like things about like that are really out there would stick into his mind. So like raid on Dralark, given what we know about or what S knows about Mac's history, things like that kind of stick.
there is important note. There is dates mentioned.
I want the dates because that's
It
that hits the numerical data capacity that S functions on.
So the first registry of its information begins. You don't know what date it is right now, but
Mhm.
comparing the first and the last, it has happened approximately 4 months in between. And the first note is him being imprisoned in the ship after the raid was taken, had happened. And it mentioned that the Dralark was raided by a pirate crew from a ship called the Verdant Sun. He was part of that crew, and in the confrontation to repel them and capture the Verdant Sun, Mac had lost his arm. I had been taken for immediate and medical attention. No, medical
Surgery.
Evaluation.
medical attention and surgery to not lose him due to the injuries caused in the attack by the counter raiding party
Mm-hmm.
from the Skyfire Legion.
Mm-hmm.
You see that in the past, following the dates, you see reports first of his behavior, of things that were mentioned to the counseling team, and even a process of rehabilitation.
Uncooperative at best.
At the beginning, there's like a mention of being uncooperative, but then just willingness to cooperate, and also medical details of the procedure to reinstall a new arm into Mac. That it was an arduous work, but it was able to be done, and that in the past month and a half ish, he was even moved outside of the brig section, given quarters, and was following certain schedule. There were in the notes there mentions that there's a couple that Amos was one of the couple of the capture pirate members, pirate crew that were going through this procedure, but many others were very loyal to the captain. And as you're finishing this and you're checking, something pops in your eye, checking the files, that just, it's new. Commonly when you've found information in the Dralark, it's this massive puzzle where all the pieces are just scrambled and you don't have the image of how it should be. But things are there, so it just might take some time. And in the process, you might find some holes that are just no longer there, but you have the pieces. A good portion of the files are deleted.
What?
Deleted?
They're not there.
Can I track where the deleted, like, was there a was it from this terminal? Can I track to see where that file was deleted from? Potentially?
It would take some time, and you will have to check other consoles outside in the ship, and you already know the state of the ship information databases. So could you? Probably. Will it take some time and you won't get the answer right away? Possibly.
I'm okay with that.
But
I'll put that on my list.
Okay. You put that on your list and you have that ready. Along with that, you also find in this section files a bit more detailed about the Skyfire Legion participating, and reports even from the actual, let's just say, like, not evaluation, but more of a psychological follow-up of what happened, of how the security crew of the ship handled it, how the Skyfire Legion detachment handled the situation, and some concerns from part of Kay and another of the counselors about the actions taken by the Skyfire Legion during the incident.
Okay.
Among those notes, you would see that there's mention of the discussions about what would be done for the pirate crew, and that it was an ardit, would be that the right word? Fiery, no, not fiery, but a very vivid discussion between counseling team, commanding officers, and the Skyfire Legion of what to do with the crew, what to do with the burdened sun, which is not mentioned here in the reports, and how to address the situation of the risk that the crew had passed through by the unsuspecting raid that had taken place in the ship, and also handling the situation of the crew, the stress that they were put on, the risk that non-combatant individuals were put on, and the unnecessary risk taken by what is his rank? Let me give me a moment. Light. The unnecessary risk taken by Legatus Kreltuan to capture the Verdant Sun.
Those notorious space pirates must be caught.
Notorious Space Pirate is my street name.
It's Mac's street name.
PhD in the streets, pirate in the sheets.
Exactly.
Oh! A rocket and
Nolan's
a
the boyfriend you
rolling.
bring home to your parents. Mac is not.
Okay.
And yeah, any more like specific information, more detailed things, might be something that, with this file in hand, either US, K, Mac, and Nulodius, if someone sends that to Nulodius, if someone thinks that's a good idea, can ask, and you would get information because it's written in the
Yeah.
file. And I'll
Yeah.
just spit it out of my head into you.
No, having just kind of skimmed over, making sure everything was there, and then picked up like the important things that flashed out. Not Mac, no. S does what he normally does, because I'm assuming that this is now like middle of the night or early morning, close to when he'd be stepping out, because Kay would be coming in to do her work. He just takes the next note and writes, "You should be able to access everything now. Let me know if I can help more." And leaves it in the same spot as he normally does.
Okay. Still continuing with US in terms of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Some days pass, and you're called by Balkibel
My man.
to attend some technical stuff in the in one of the bridge sections, and you go there and begin working on it. He's around there. Yeah, every now and then, like, comes to ask if there's anything else. If just making sure you have everything you require. And in one of those moments, he goes back to you. He has his usual thermal, like the base, not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mug, but like the bottle thingy where you put
Yeah,
keeps your
the travel-
coffee one.
Thermos.
Yeah.
Thermos, that's the word. Thank you. Thermos, and he's just there. Is so we've been talking a bit between the bridge crew, and it's something that has been on the talks around, and I kind of wanted to bring this up with the four of you,
Mm-hmm.
because you've been like helping us in the bridge and that. You think you could help us set up in a way that for them this place of the recreational section of the ship have every now and then, or at least the option to show the list of the deceased?
Yeah, that could be easily done. I think.
More or less, I know you've been busy. I know you've been all around the ship and dealing with things that happen between you four people. But when do you think you could have that ready?
I mean, I could probably. I know that Kay and Null did a lot of the work already of going through who was dead and matching it up to who was who. So if I can just get that information from them, I don't know. I could probably like, what were you thinking? I could probably do up in the ceiling like a hologram and have that programming there on the panels where it goes through the names, just cycle through. Or if you were thinking something more like a kiosk, I could probably find one and
Yeah, like one kiosk, that a place that people can just go and check it.
yeah, no, I can. Would you be fine if I take it off the system? I could fiddle with that and make it so it's just a record of who's. It holds the record of who's deceased, and I could try if I think Noel said that he was taking pictures of the ones that were not horrible, and then if I'm not, I can find the ones that are. No, I could probably go through K's database. You can see that he's going through all the things that he has, because again, he's been sleeping like really irregular schedules, so his minds aren't. But yeah, what I'll do is I could probably.
If you want, we can like ask some of our other technician people and engineers to get that done, so you don't like over.
No, I'll be fine. I finished a big project already. I can work on something else. I mean, I
Okay.
wouldn't mind having a small team to assist. They can work on other things.
Yeah, we can coordinate with the science and engineering team to have like a group of people that know the way in computers, so they can support you.
Yeah. But I can start work on that. I don't think it would take me too long. I've already got the access. It would just be reprogramming the kiosk.
Got it. Okay, yeah, sure. Well, if you require specific equipment, a specific type of people, you can, send me the list. You have my
Yeah, I've got you
number.
on the. I got your comm
Yeah,
connection.
okay. And if not, you can find always in the morning in the bridge, or in the afternoon, or in the night, or in the midnight, whatever. Yeah.
Before you head out here,
Yeah.
I just need to know your thoughts on a certain person.
Oh boy.
You've got a lot more contact with them than I do. What's your take on Kreltwan?
He stares for a moment into whatever section of the metal platings that surround you and protect you. Well, he's kind of a fiery one in a good manner. He has been sending us information of what they might require from the engineering team. We've been trying to coordinate things between them and the engineering team for getting the assembly ready. Heard some news from them, and that they're getting some help from Mac, and that might be up again soon, so they can start resupplying weapons and preparing more of that section. I don't know. He's kind of like the first to be in front of everything. You know what I mean? Like, he to start making patrols, he was like ready to be among them, and I mean, he's a commanding officer of them, so makes sense he does it with like she shows with example. But I don't know, like, so I just have kind of a bit of a memory from him. Memories a bit. And in none of those memories, I talk with him alone. I was always next to other people. And there was a sensation that I needed to talk with him either next to Megon or next to another officer. Though honestly, if there was an issue, like, pirates or more zombies or something like that, I mean, they've been they have been putting the security and their legionnaires back in shape, so I think I would go for them, perhaps. If there's issue, like there's trouble, danger, there's two groups I have on dial, you guys and the legionnaires, Megan and Kreltron, so they can get everything running up.
Well, Evil, we've become friends, I would say. So you just shared a little bit of a memory with you. I'm going to share one of mine with you. I don't know quite the details. It wasn't really in full, but and maybe it goes off of some of the stuff that you've been feeling, but I've kind of been feeling it well as too. But I would probably say be wary of the Legionnaires. I'm not saying that they aren't effective, but again, you're my friend, and I don't want you, if they are doing anything shady, I don't want you getting caught up in that.
Okay. Okay, got it. Well, we'll see about that. I'll keep an eye on that. And just if anything is suspicious, I'll let you know.
Yeah, if you see anything, let me know. And I'll work on getting that memorial set up.
Yeah, sorry. So we ask you guys to do that. That's a bit fucked up, but
people, I think, people that have more connections than I do, definitely might help them being able to see those faces, those names, and maybe even if they don't remember everything, they remember something.
okay. Well, thank you for letting me know about that, about the Legionnaires, and I don't know, maybe that's also a thing that you guys have to talk with them. Listen, I don't know. One thing's for sure, commonly, I haven't seen Megon and Grotwan just far from each other. Like, at least I don't feel afraid of talking with Grotwan. Like, at the moment he seems kind of friendly overall. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we were all, I don't know, renegades, pirates that went out into the unknown edges of space. Also, if I know we've been picking different places that you've been doing things around, and you have told Rain, Rain around the databases. Just if you delete any files or anything, let us know, okay? Because we got some pingings back from the some of the security sections on the brig, and I know you work near theirs, but I wasn't sure. So just let us know, okay?
You said security near the break?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. I know we also got some reports that the data indicated a bit late from some data corruption. Now that you established some of it, I know you were around there to make some of the connections of the computers back on, but if you have to delete anything to make it stable again, just let us know before that, okay? Well, before, after it, at some point.
Hey, let your team know that if you see any of those pings to immediately connect to me, because I also saw that when I was looking around. I didn't do that. Someone else is going through and deleting files. I will be available anytime. I've got my comms set to alert me. If your team notices that, I want to know ASAP, please.
Okay, yeah. I need more coffee. So
You
I'll
know what?
just.
I'm gonna go with you. I know the bridge has the best coffee.
You say that, but
It's better
I
than the
got
shit
some.
I've got in my apartment.
If you can go to the greenhouse section and ask Placor for some coffee that is sending our way over here to the bridge, and then he can give you some. Um, they found some good there. I do not know how it is made. It's really good there.
Did
It's just
Bahira just give us a coffee hookup with
Vahivel
Klukwar,
and
of all things?
Vahivel and Ash have got something like entirely their own. And coffee is just a baseline connection between the two of them. But yeah,
I just love that Klukwar is the one that's going to be supplying you with coffee, the sentient plant.
yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, so Ash will go and get the coffee hookup.
It's almost as good
dang.
as dead people tea.
I mean, maybe that's the compost being used.
Got a lot of compost.
You also have no idea what
That guy
kind
coffee.
of tea, quote unquote tea, K drinks being a Sheeran.
I'm just thinking that it's
Which,
like
for people
banana
who are just
tea.
joining us, it's Sheeran are like these centipede-like creatures.
Not as many arms, fortunately, just like
Oh,
two arms.
the
It's just,
next thing.
No,
well,
The
yeah.
centipedes.
Yeah.
it's so good. I'm so happy there's not as many arms.
Where is my centipede? There he is.
No, please no. But yeah. So there's so much to do.
Let's-
But
Unfortunately, it is late.
Coffee break, I think, is a great time for our session to come to a close, though.
yes. Well, we discover a few things about the development of Mac and Nolodia's relationship.
I'm sorry for the mean things I said while I was being a bad, rude man.
It's okay. Mac obviously doesn't have anything. He knows that you weren't yourself.
We will decompress.
No, that's in character.
We can do this afterwards.
Yeah, we will
Yeah, we'll
decompress
decompress in a moment. But everybody, thank you for everyone that joined for this little mess of a story as we're continue forward, discovering some things, finding out that maybe someone else is going through files over here and there.
Smell a rat.
And we do have announcements to be done, so take it away, Faye.
All right, hi guys, I'm Faye. If you want to see more about me, I do a lot of D&D streaming over on Will Witch RP server and on our Twitch. You can find out more about Little Witch at our website. That's WILDEWITCH.com. We are a TTRPG production company. We've got a lot of cool things going on, and one of our cool things coming up is in a week. On Wednesday, we are starting our new Dragonlance campaign. So come check us out. That's going to be at 9 p.m. EST, and we'd love to see you there.
Real quick,
Yeah.
before you go, Sakurane, if you do have any questions or any concerns or any theories, please feel free to join us on the Nerd Asylum Discord. We chat in there. There is a public Homeward channel specifically just for us to go through, so feel free to post any questions, comments, concerns, theories. Give Sakurane bad ideas, good ideas. That line's very gray.
Gossamer thin.
Awesome.
Emotional
bad
damage.
ideas.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention about that particular, but yeah, we do have the Discord, and we also have other shows running around. We're gonna have next Monday the continuation of NA by Night, our actual play Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition mixed with some Werewolf the Apocalypse stuff going on there. And we are. What else we have in the works? There's some.
Anthropocene, season 3 of Anthropocene is soon-ish. No solid date, but soon. Our
Yeah, there was-
cyberpunk altered carbon stream.
Mm-hmm. And
And who knows
that
what
is-
else in the future?
more Homeward.
Yeah, more
God, I
homework,
hope
please.
so.
I mean, yeah, I'm not dropping right now. Like, hey guys,
That's
end
it.
of the
That's all
story.
for another season.
What a weird place to end the show.
S's coffee break. End of the show.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
watching tonight. Stay nerdy, friends.
Stay nerdy, bye.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Or else.
Why else? No.